どうも、ハイです。ビヨンドリーチ、続きをプレイしていきましょう。デイミアンの依頼を終わらせて、改めてこちらに戻ってきたところなんですけどね。ここのエリアの名前がスカトリングボイドっていう名前で、調べてみたらここがナミラの領域なんですね。今まで気づかずプレイしてましたね。ナミラっていうとね、結構クエストモードとかでもね、名前が出てきたりとかはするんですけど、実際に姿を拝んだことが今まで一回もないんですよね。今回出てくんのかな？出てきてほしいな。どうなんでしょうね。それでは行ってみましょう。この先の丘の上に登るみたいなんですけど、なんかすっげえオブジェがありますけど、なんか手がニョキッと生えてるな。これは内臓、心臓かな？心臓がなんかごちゃっとくっついてますね。何なんだ？あ、これは何や？あ、人の死体がなんか根っこに絡まってるか、貫かれて、あ、絡まってるだけか。気持ち悪いな。ああ、何？あら。これは何を表してるんだろうな。檻がある。これ中入んのかな？おお、動いた。おお。こうした方がいいか。あ、でっけえ死体が鎖につなげられてるけど、化け物の正体の理解に努め、なんかいる。なんやこいつ。うわ、なんやこいつ、気持ち悪い。あ、セリフないのね。ついに観客か、精悍な精神よ。お前に害が降りかかることはないだろう。お、不死身の肉は私がそうするところで今近づく。何者だ、お前がエヴァモアでの大量殺人の犯人なのか。お前が見つけたのは獲物の過去、今となっては他の形へと変化している。我はアイデンティティの名残から自らを継承し、その遺産を残した。ちょっと何を言ってんのかよくわからないけど。離れろ。私は欲望の残骸、誰もが忘却を望むもの。この状態では喋る。不都合の抜け殻。さあご覧あれ。何が始まるんです？ちょっとなんやろ、ずっと見てると愛嬌があるようにも見えてくるな。なんやこれ。何の話をしてるんだろう。何かを表してるんだろうってこと。これは何なん？寝取られとかじゃない。そういうんじゃない。黒いやつが女取られたとかそんなんじゃない。あれ、あ、音。
was this new tension? The old stasis was dead. Gone was that peace, never to return. For the medium
なんじゃこりゃ。
choice of the two, and so the unloved sank into confusion. Why had I not been chosen? What was he compared to me? What am I?
化け物の正体の理解に努める。
Sentience,
全然わからんぞ。
the woe of every murder, all sourced by this bygone ancestor. See thyself. Make clear the distinction between you and that which shares not your will, and you which submits to your wants. Identity. So rapid is this moment, so fragile you were made to feel. Wishing not to be forgotten, it must adapt. However,
おう
the loveless is sunken in something alien. Hatred, jealousy, born here and taken at full. The loveless gives way to reprisal. It cannot stay idle with the knowledge that others enjoy. Enjoy what he cannot. Ancestor, were you humble, we would have peace. Were you accepting, we could have unity. You had but submit and waste away, content with your inferiority. Your actions left us with the worst of all delusions. Hope, torture of ambition. So with your ambition, you conspired, plotting the undoing of the newlyweds.
これ下手すりゃビジラントより難解なストーリーかも。
They embraced. So small did they feel it of their love.
なんか解説サイトとかないのかな。
Only there was loathing, and within was joy. That contrast burned deeper still. Where there could have been restraints, replaced with murderous intents. Its wordless ravings were silenced. Against its brow, he stared upon the
養殖なる九州。あ、おう、どっか
I
戻っ
should
て
have
きた。
sent
あ、
a
ク
better
エ
stock
ス
of
ト終わっ
Bretons
た。
to overtake this outpost. I swear that I can
なん
recognize
か
some
誰
of
か
the
話して
exiles
る。
we've
帝
rounded
国
up.
軍士官。
Our hands are tied, I'm
いや
afraid.
なんかあれや
We've got
な、
another mess to deal with in
文
Skyrim.
章は難解やけど、このほんと翻訳した人
Let's hope
語彙
they're
が
sensible enough not to have this kingdom descend into
豊富という
barbarism
か
on our
セン
part.
スあるな。見習い
Don't
たい
hold
な。
your breath. It's a fool's hope. The time
いい
for
文
our
章を書く
departure
ね。
seems to be quite tentative. Do we have any confirmation for our release?
結局
Immediately after this transfer is complete,
黒
we'll
い
return
の
to the
が
embassy where we secured the
白い
cards,
のと
having cleared the base of the
女
arsenal we
な
need,
のかな
and then make our way for the
が
divide.
くっついて嫉妬
To
に
deracinaate ourselves
駆ら
after
れ
so
てる
many
みたい
years
な、
now,
そんな話なのか
despite how stressful it was to experience.
な。そもそもあいつらが何なのかよくわからんけど。
Speak for yourself. I've yearned for a good night's sleep for a decade now. I just hope Skyrim doesn't harbor the same hostility, the same corruption that fills this realm.
Crossed fingers.
出てっていいのか。
Hopefully I can talk to command back in Cyrodiil for our transfer to one of the fringe outposts in the
この
homeland
会話
once we're
は
done
ちょっ
with
と終わるま
Skyrim.
で待とうか。
Don't get my hopes up too much. Such hope is akin to sin through this realm, bringing swift punishment.
Pessimism will be the death of you.
ドルゴ。
Yet I understand your
ドルゴ
disposition
今まで出てき
to
て
having
ない
fought
よ
to
な。
improve a realm that doesn't reciprocate. Come, let's go and hasten this process. Chef back at the embassy is preparing a fine farewell feast from what I hear. We don't want it to go cold.
もう終わったかな。いやー、なかなか難しいね。こいつかな。いつまで歩いてんねんな。
Citizen?
ドルゴ指揮官。ここの状況はどうなっている？
Huh? What back door did you enter through? Must be a master of stealth as well as battle. As for what we're talking about, just making plans for transferring the garrisons over to the Bretons. Disorder in Skyrim calls, and the Empire beckons us to be their vanguard.
なんかいきなり現実に引き戻されたな。駐留地を引き払うつもりなのか、現状で賢明な選択と言えるか。
What else can we do here? It seems most are dead set in digging a deeper hole for themselves despite our best efforts. I know this is disheartening, but I have faith that the Reach, without Mortarfane, may fare a great deal better. That is, if someone less tyrannical is appointed by Sigmane, instead of some
あれ
doppelganger
今
from
の
most
同じ
recent
文章じゃない。
which has been a common theme in this land.
レイブンスプリングでの動静を伺う。どうだろう、モーティフェインは狂人としても特別な存在だった。
In fact, I've heard Sigmane's son, Damien, may just be the lord that breaks the cycle. We can only hope. Such a merciful and boisterous
デイミア
leader
ンマ
may
ジで
bring
ただ
those
のメイ
saints
君
out
な
of
の
their
かな。
depressive
いい人っ
stupor.
ぽいよな。
Word is he's soon to give a speech to the people in Ravenspring. May want to go over there and see what he has to say. You never know. You could drop a word of advice to the prince that may forge a better future in this realm.
あなた方が去った後、誰が後任になる？
That would be a man named Visa. He has a residence within the capital itself. He's not one to hear out every petty request, so make sure any appointment you have with him is of utmost urgency.
エバーモアでの殺人事件以降、何か変わったことでも？
Nothing noteworthy. Petty disputes and all the entailing drama. I'm sure you're well versed in the Reach's people, so I won't need to divulge too much. Actually, come to think of it, events seem to be not as dour. Like the kingdom is finally experiencing its boon. I don't want to get my hopes up, but it really does seem different this time. Alas, we won't be here to relish in what may be, as we've already set course for Skyrim.
ウィッチマンの新たな脅威はないのか？多くからも？
Again, nothing eventful. Would have told you otherwise. Yes, if you want something to chew on, we've had word from the kingdom of some of their serfs wandering north, though not enough to cause a serious outcry. Looks like the absolute worst of the toiling masses are vanishing, which the nobility have been elated by. More for the treasury, and less mouths to feed.
ノードの行き先はどこだ？
There aren't many civilized spots north of the kingdom, and I'm damn sure an unarmed peasant isn't going to make it 10 yards approaching those witchmen. So we haven't sent anyone up there to find out. Just not worth the hassle, and we're already spent as a garrison. We should have been thrice our number, but the Reach has weathered us down to a trifling band of injured and mad.
ウィッチマンが勢力を増しているならこちらにも情報提供があってしかるべきでは。
We should, but my business has ceased here. You'll need to direct those concerns to the Bretons. As you know, the serfs should be their immediate concern. Imagine a kingdom without their serfs. Evermore especially would collapse in an instant.
まあそらそうだ。まだ脅威は全く過ぎ去っていないという虫の知らせがする。
If you hear any of the downtrodden rambling the same as those witchmen, then that will be a major cause for concern. Until then, however, enjoy these somewhat peaceful days we've been graced with.
これで終わりかな。
Go with grace.
破滅を欲する少年。周囲を見回し話しかけてみた相手はドルゴ指揮官だった。現実世界に戻ってきたことを実感する。帝国兵たちはリーチをブレットンの手に委ね去り、スカイリムに向かうという話をしていた。加えて指揮官によればデイミアン王子がアーニマで演説するそうだ。わざわざ話題になるということは意味がある演説なのだろう。アーニマの町に向かわねば。待った。なぜアーニマの名前を日誌にまた書いているんだ。ああ、レイブンスプリングって言えよってことやけど、なんかこれなんやろ、なんか意味あんのかな。まあいいか、じゃあ行きますか。この上か。お、ちょっと待て、ちょっと待て。どっから上上がるんだっけ。
You sure you want to fight?
始まるの早いよ。
Evermore would cease to be. Not even that storm of death summoned by those of black hearts could sunder your resolve. So it is tragedy, nay, insult, that you boldest of Bretons, man and woman alike, have suffered under debauched tyrants, lords who sought their wants to the destruction of yours. Is it not time for someone to break this most pernicious pattern? That the promise of dawn should show harvest in day.
Best keep those lips sealed, lest you want to part with that tongue of yours right here.
あんま見てる人おらんな。
That's it. I was planning on visiting you later, but I'll be taking your head now. Come here, scum.
You needn't rush to my defense, for the only threat here is truth. Many are reticent, fearful to speak out against those above. To have endured a lord's madness, a king's decadence, and not rage against the gods who ordain their rule? Servility, befitting dogs,
あ、
not
座ん
men.
ねや。
Your prince has shown
連れて帰るんじゃないんか。
Best show your appreciation.
Reflect, if you will, this land and its history, how the past bleeds seamlessly into the present, where the wounds of times past yonder still gape as to drown the realm in a red haze of madness. That past is an anchor, staying our destinies, and only with the collective might of the Reach can we smash the chain. Like a yearning child yet conceived, trapped within the crushing womb, must erupt from its shell by any means. Cast your traumas. Kill your fear. Hope shall take their stead. Every man and woman here has but one imperative: to prevail against the world itself. It is only through triumph that we overcome our shared
どっか行っ
antipathy
ちゃった。
for life and its injustices.
そっち座るんかい。
Behold the advent of new
あいつは何なんだ。
enterprise. We are undergoing a total restoration of Evermore. Laborers of every craft work tirelessly to further our dominion. The further our presence, the nearer our enemies' defeat. Soon there will be no hole for their dark ilk to fester. And through all the blood, sweat, and toil, the Reach, not for the savage, nor the stranger, but for you,
Reachman. To make our mutual want for peace and power tangible is our right. To triumph over trepidation and sail our fate through the maelstrom of destiny. This ultimate agenda was yesterday a dream, a tale to cope. Now our ideals are no longer distant. When the Reachmen home their desires into one shared purpose, even mountains will quake. Will to power, no longer to endure, to suffer. We will prosper. They thought you sheep, preying on you at your weakest. Now you have heart. Now you have willpower. Now it is you who are strong.
この人たちはなんで座り直してるの？何かをしようとしてる。
Hail evermore.
拍手しようとしてるのかな。おお、デイミアンと話す。あ、追っかけてる。大丈夫な。あれ、こっちか。どうやってそこに行くの？あ、ここか。
Speak up.
人心をすでに集め始めているようだな。そうかなそうかな今の。
A paragon where all the other leaders had failed. A great privilege to be of the few progenitors of good in the Reach. Unfortunately, I am to depart here soon. So anything you need to say, make it brief. 3/4 of today's schedule still awaits.
私はあなたを拘束することはありません。ただあなたのスピーチを祝福したかったのです。急ぎの話をする必要がある。上やな。
I've enough dogged worship from the people.
悩みました
So
が。
having labored over that speech for the better half of a week, I wouldn't react well to criticism. Now then, I must leave. Take care.
あ、これで終わり？
Until next time.
ん？なんかまだ話あるよな。これのあれか。もう一個の選択肢か。急ぎの話をする必要がある。後ろに司祭様をおったぞ。
Yet I have important men waiting for me in the west, so we must speak later.
あれ終わり？後ろで待ち構えとるな。
Forgive the interruption, but I need your attention within the temple.
聖堂に行くの？待ってもらうわけにはいかないか。
Trust me, you will thank me for being so impatient. Please.
有無を言わさずって感じやな。司祭について行き聖堂の中で話をする。じゃあ、ついていこうか。さあ、何の話やろうか。
It's about what the missionary saw when he scoured that damned facility in the mountains. Or rather, what he's seen now that made him evoke such dread.
落ち着いてくれ。何があったのかもっとはっきり教えてくれないか。
The prince, Damien, had entered the temple to greet us. Almost immediately did the missionary become capricious.
ああ、伝道者リーモン。
I thought it was fatigue from the exercise, but he was extremely pallid. I've never seen such a drastic turn of health so quickly.
伝道者はどこに？ガオードン低地懲罰採石場。
I've sent him off to the divide where Fennig, the town's priest, will look after him. He is young,
ちょっとリーモンやば
and
く
the events
な
that
ってんじゃね。
transpired here have probably overwhelmed him.
デーミアン様に直接渡りをつけますか？あるいは他に副案は？
Every fibre of my being begs you not to pursue this cause, but this spurious revival of the town irks me. If the missionary's suspicions were true, and we did nothing, I would not be able to live with myself.
ちょっとフラグ立ててきおるな。伝道者が倒れた理由は何です？それについて何か彼は言っていましたか？
As you already know, these alteration exercises the missionary undertakes are extensive, so much so that the senses become incredibly sensitive and highly attuned.
If whatever or whoever comes within close proximity during or immediately after, such as a day or two beyond the ritual, then a terrific psychic backlash can occur. Which is what I think occurred here. Coincidentally, the last item he traced was provided by you. I won't draw conclusions, as I cherish the welfare of the kingdom too much. Yet I tell you of this because I know you are of the scrupulous sort. So assuage this malaise, and pray that the prince is not implicated in these affairs.
心配には当たらない。彼に接するときには気をつけるから。
Your arrival here has been a miracle. Thank you, knight. Were it not for you, we would all be suffering a fate worse than any could fathom.
はい、以上かな。あ、まだある。旅の途中、地下深くに広がる不吉な感じの遺跡を見つけた。建築はエルフ様式のようだったが、それについて何かご存知のことなどありますか？
You most likely came across remnants of Durrani civilization. A wonder to modern architects and laborers alike that their structures still hold after all these years. Even the marble still shines, not having succumbed to the ruinous elements that erode our walls every so often. How did it feel? Was the air strangely fresh?
いや、歓迎してくれたのは麻痺するような腐敗臭と血だけでした。それと体がバラバラになるような叫び声と敵対的な亡霊も。
How bizarre. That's not characteristic of the Durrani at all. Wait. Yes. Not Durrani at all, but Ayleid. The Ayleid embassy built by those Durrani all those millennia ago.
ディレニ家、アイレイド。彼らについては詳しいとは言えません。両者の関係は？
You've heard of the Elysian Empire, surely, and their revolt against the Ayleids of Old Cyrodiil, ages before the Empire came to be.
それは大丈夫です。
Then I needn't bore you with yet another recital. That slave revolt, having swept over large swathes of Cyrodiil, had then turned their gaze west to the Durrani hegemony, now High Rock. Desperate and engulfed in panic, the Durrani pulled whoever they could
ちょっと
from
セ
what
ク
remained
さん
of the
さっきから
Ayleid.
邪魔なんですけ
One
ど。
prominent figure, with the moniker of the last king, Dinah by name, who had followed that fleeing diaspora.
ディナル、ダイナー。つまりエルフの両勢力は同盟関係ということか。状況について詳しく教えてください。ダイナーは具体的に何をした人物なのですか？こっち聞いてみよう。
Some accounts said he was an exile, despondent to the suffering of his Ayleid kin, and had only wanted to join the Durrani cause to indulge in the slaughter. The Durrani built his stalwart stronghold at the very interstice of the warring forces, and that last king couldn't have been happier.
で、こっちか。
A very desperate alliance, to speak the truth. In no other situation would that vile king interact with an outsider, let alone send aid for his kin. When the first Elysian stepped into his periphery, the nightmare was unleashed. The Reach had turned into some damned oblivionscape that would send any timid soul running to the other end of Tamriel.
それで最後の王とやらは倒されたのですか？あるいはそうではなかったと。それから何が起きたのですか？こっちにしよう。
And so did many of the Elysians, though the accounts made
基
exceptions
本
for the
下
Lords
の
among
方
them,
がいいのかな。
who even in the face of ultimate terror had
上が
traversed
なん
the
か
dark
話
realm,
進むような気
right
がす
to
る
the
んだけど。
doorstep of that king's squalid hovel, losing many through hideous traps, terrific rituals, and the sadistic Ayleid subordinates who relished in those spiteful skirmishes.
あ、やっぱそうなんかな。
That's what the tomes show, though such a being that was surely the product of Daedric consort could have just faded into the arms of whatever prince he knelt
Some
to.
might disagree, but I
When they
appreciate
did
the
breach
name.
the inner sanctum, scholars had talked of the interior being a patchwork of human bodies, stitched together from one end of the giant hall to the other. The king and his debauched Ayleid underlings were seemingly unfazed about the assailants at the gate, still immersed in their profaned work. This allowed those forlorn Nords to approach. Upon realizing that his artistry was meddled with, he recoiled and flayed those unfortunate souls who made their advance, almost in an instant. Then came the cacophony of screams, killing those further back immediately after.
殺害なんてとても無理そうですが、どういう経緯で彼は殺されることに？
When it proved futile that mere men went up to the task, Alesia had called upon a friend. All evidence and descriptions of this person pointed to one candidate, Polinial.
おっと、ペリナルの兄貴か。リーチには恐ろしいが引き込まれるような伝説が数多くあるのですね。戦いそのものについて 著述家はどう語っていましたか。下なんやろうな。
Those scribes of the time spoke of him entering the sanctum and having the gates sealed behind.
残念ながらビジラントを今もっと入れてないからペリナが召喚できないな。
where even the very ground seemed to sink into the depths.
ですがペリナルが勝利した。そうではないのですか。
People had fled. Tension gripped those who thought Polinial had fallen. Yet among the rubble, that metal-clad hand had erupted from the heap. So the filthy king of spite was no more, and the Elysians continued their march west. Not often did the clouds part, and we have a simple tale which can be spun to the young. If you're looking for such stories, then Evermore and those lands further west will be your calling. Though looking at you, such light-hearted tales would quickly grow to bore.
これで全部かな。終わった。
We meet again.
あれ
How fare you?
話終わったんでしょ。
Godspeed, knight.
はい、OK。というわけでガオードン低地懲罰採石場に向かう。司祭の話は想像が及ぶ中でとびきり悪い王国全体を危険にさらすものだった。デイミアン王子その人が悪鬼のような存在に取りつかれているかもしれないというので、やっぱそうやろう。少なくとも要領を得ない司祭の口からの言葉から理解できた内容はそうだった。まだ知りたいことはあるが、それと同時に王子の身に何かがあれば真っ先に自分の身に疑いが及ぶことは承知している。いやー、デイミアン王子はな、ちょっとな怪しかったもんな。名前が怪しいしな。